You're a veteran, you just got your VA pre-approval. What comes next? What's going on, motivators? In today's video, I'm going to share with you everything you need to know about the next steps to take now that you're pre-approved. All right, so here are the 5 steps that you're going to take now that you've finally got your VA pre-approval. Step 1, you need to make sure that you know exactly what your pre-approval means, okay? Just because you're pre-approved doesn't mean that you're going to get the approval to actually get the property. Now, unless you do something called a secure buy, which you can reach out to me for, I've done videos on it. If you want to know what it is, take a look through my content. I explain what a secure buy is. It's called a pre-commitment. Unless you get one of those, you're not guaranteed to get the approval. See, a pre-approval is basically where someone like myself takes a look at your mortgage file, we verify your assets, your credit, and your income, and we say, yes, if we were to send this mortgage up to the powers that be, being the underwriter, this underwriter judge would approve it. They would say yes. But did you know that only 89% of all VA loan transactions which got a pre-approval actually closed last year because they were denied with an 11% denial rate? So make sure you keep that in mind, is that for 1 out of every 10 pre-approvals, 1 of them was not done correctly. Now, if your lender doesn't offer something called secure buy or a pre-commitment or an actual approval and not just a pre-approval, definitely make sure that you reach out to me because we offer it here. We do it all the time. And if I got you pre-approved and you have more questions about it, you can always ask me and I can walk you through that process. It is a little bit more involved, but it does give you a little bit more surety and actually makes you a much better buyer. You're a much more attractive buyer when you have it. But that's not what today's video is about. Let's move on to step 2. Now, step 2 is finding a real estate agent who knows VA loans and knows how to work with veterans or service members. You see, you don't want to work with a part-time real estate agent, okay? You don't want to work with a part-time real estate agent or even a full-time real estate agent who's never worked with a veteran or service member before. You see, on average, loan officers like myself or real estate agents, well, they will see a VA loan 0 to 1 times out of a 12-month period. Now that's the average. Obviously me, all I do, I'm a veteran myself, so my whole network is veterans and service members. All I work with is all you guys, so I see them all the time. I can't tell you how many I've closed, a couple hundred, I guess. So it's not something that is foreign to me, but to real estate agents and lenders, it is. So we need to make sure that we find you a good veteran realtor who knows what they're doing, or a VA-friendly realtor, someone who understands the process for service members or for veterans. Now, the good thing for you is, if you do decide to work with me, or well, even if you don't, I can actually put you into contact with my entire network of real estate agents that I have at my disposal, and they are nationwide, and we make sure that we vet them and we make sure that they know how to handle working with veterans or service members, or that they have some at least experience doing so. Now, I can't overstate how important this is because I hate to break it to you, but we get discriminated against when we're going to buy a house. Because of the fact that we put 0% down, real estate agents, as much as they're going to post on their little profiles, Happy Veterans Day, Happy Memorial Day, well, they're still going to discriminate against us when we go to buy a house, which I think is absolutely absurd. But whatever, I'll jump off that high horse. I have a whole nother video where I talk about that. But let's move on to step 3, determining your budget. Now, 2 things matter when you're buying a house, okay? The number of costs to get in the home and the number of costs to stay in the home. Now, no matter what you were pre-approved for, let's say you were pre-approved for $1 million. Does that mean that you have to buy $1 million house? No, you might not even need $1 million house. Maybe you don't need 6 or 7 bedrooms because it's just you and a spouse, or you and an in-law, or you and a kid, or you guys have 1 kid together. Who knows? You don't need 7 bedrooms for that. So why the heck would I need $1 million pre-approval? Well, yeah, you're absolutely right, okay? Just because you're pre-approved up so high, like it's our job to get you the max pre-approval amount, well, it's not your job to buy the house at $1 million. That's crazy. I mean, you might be comfortable going up to the top of your pre-approval. Maybe you've got a different financial scenario, but in some cases, and a lot of cases, most people don't. They want to stay in a realistic time frame. So they want to keep their budget to where they're comfortable with. So if we pre-approved you for $1 million, you might have to spend, I don't know, $30,000 to get in the home and just closing costs alone. And maybe you're looking at like an $8,000, $9,000 a month mortgage payment, because your property taxes are super high and, that's a lot of money to borrow. But if you're not comfortable shelling out, $50,000 to get in the home and $9,000 to stay in the home, well, we need to determine what's comfortable for you. Because at the end of the day, this is the most important thing of all my videos that I'll say right here, right now. When you're looking at a house, you should be able to look at the house and just basically say, okay, this house, 1, 2, 3 big walkway that I'm looking at right here is going to cost me $30,000 to get in and $4,000 to stay in. Am I okay with that? Yes, I'm okay paying $4,000 a month for this, and I'm okay shelling out $30,000. That's cool. And then you can say yes or no to purchasing the house. If you're not comfortable with that amount, well, then you can't buy it. So that's what I mean in determining a budget, is you have to know that number that it costs to get in the home and what's the max you're willing to spend. And you also need to know the max you're willing to spend to stay in the home. Now this means your principal, interest, your taxes, and your insurance. This does not mean anything like your utility bills or your Optimum or your Cablevision or your Netflix. I don't know. I don't care what you do, Netflix and chill. I'm talking about your actual mortgage payment. Now speaking of budget, we can now go into step 4, which is determining your needs and your wants and desires when looking at a house. Because like I said before, you might not need a 7-bedroom house. You might not even want a 7-bedroom house. But what do you actually want? What do you actually need when you're buying a house? Now, these are super crucial things to tell that real estate agent that we helped you to find or that we put you in contact with. So these are super crucial things that you need to know, because these are going to dictate whether or not you can actually meet that budget. So if you want a half-acre property with a pool and a 2-car garage and 5-bedroom house, and you want a basement and you want an attic space and you want a white picket fence and you want everything to be updated, all those things are going to cost more money. Obviously, they're more attractive to everyone. So we have to make sure that all of those needs and wants are met within your budget. Because guess what? If your wants do not match your budget, we're going to have to step it down from your wants down to your needs and see exactly what you need in a house rather than what you want in a house. Now, step 5 is talking about making a competitive offer, okay? That's all about making an offer on the property. And I say competitive because if you really want a house, you gotta lead out the gate, you gotta go charge down that hill, you gotta go out there and take it. Because sometimes you might not have the opportunity to do a counter offer. Now, when you're putting an offer out there, if you're watching this video and you have a pre-approval from just random Fugazi lender or a headset jockey somewhere, and you're working with an agent who doesn't know veterans or service members, you might have a tough time getting an offer accepted because we will get discriminated against. But if you work with someone like myself and you work with someone like one of my agents within my network, well, we are subject matter experts on sales, okay? Now, we are salespeople, not for you to get you as a client. We are salespeople to the listing agent to get your offer accepted. We are salespeople for you, not salespeople to you, okay? We're there to make sure that we are selling over to that listing agent all the reasons why you are the absolute best candidate to purchase this house and why your loan isn't gonna fail when stacked up against others. And that's the biggest thing. But also, it's on you to make sure that you're actually putting in a competitive offer. Don't be the one to go out there and offer $400,000 on a $500,000 property. You're probably gonna get kicked to the curb. This is a crazy market out there. Depending upon when you're watching this, it's 2025 right now. It's not looking like the market's going to die down anytime soon. It hasn't been a buyer market for years now, since at least 2018, 2019, and probably not gonna be there for a little bit. It is a seller's market. Keep that in mind. Don't lowball too much. Now, this also means, okay, this doesn't mean that you have to go out there and offer, a crazy amount above ask, but, make sure you're making a respectable offer. And this is the other key phase where the real estate agent takes a really good counsel to you, because they can tell you what a good offer is and what a bad offer is. Now, as always, I hope you guys found this content informative. This is all I aim to do, is teach you everything you need to know about using your VA loan. If you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This way I know that you guys are out there paying attention and value my time and dedication to making sure that you guys get taught and you guys don't get screwed over. And if you know anyone else who might benefit from my content, make sure you share this page out. Let's go, Motivator, out.